wanted to start my own company and build something for my family and also my employees as well, something that I could share the success that we built together. And so that was also really, really important. Obviously, as an entrepreneur, you're very focused on your customers, but you also have to be very focused on your team, because it's the team that gets you there. Yep. So I've always wanted to share my success with my team.
No one builds anything by themselves, right? You always need a successful team around you. And another thing that I always mention, just to add to what you just said, I think entrepreneurs, we have to be the most optimistic person in the room, while you are also aware of the worst case scenario kind of all the time. So it's a dual, like you know how bad things can go. You're totally aware, but you're the guy who's like pushing and being optimistic, and maybe sometimes even because of that blindness, overconfident of what you and the team and the company can achieve. Like you have to push the limit, right? While you're still aware of all the risks and problems and issues you can face, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You do have to know where the risks are, because obviously you need to do what you can to minimize them. But you also got to believe that you can solve the problem even when it gets really bad.
Great. So going back to those early days, did you have any limit or threshold to, of course it's a hypothetical question because you very soon became very successful with that first company, but did you have in your mind, if it doesn't work in X months, if I don't make that much revenue, did you have anything clear in your mind, or was just, I'm going to push, not looking into anything else?
I think I was lucky because I was relatively young. I didn't have children at the time, so if it went really bad, I could go get a job. So I knew I could do that. So that helped. But I will say that I remember a transition as an entrepreneur when you start off, it's just you. And at some point, you have to, in order to grow, realize you need to hire someone. And when you make that decision to hire someone, it's a big step, because it's no longer about just the impact of if it goes badly on you, you're now going to impact other people.
Yep.
So I remember psychologically, this massive decision for me was, do I want to hire someone? And I knew I had to grow the business. Mm-hmm. But also, I've now got all this responsibility because this other person is now my responsibility. And if the business doesn't go well, it's going to be my fault that this person now is financially exposed. So yeah, it was a big decision.
Totally agree. Yeah. I remember that feeling quite well. I also started AIQON at an early age. I was 22, I guess, at the time, or something like this. And the first employee, the first rented office, those were things for me that, of course, when you start a company and you become an entrepreneur, like, those things are going to happen. But when they happen and you realize it's kind of like you have a family now at the age of 22 that you got to support, you got to do your best. So the stakes get much higher.